Each year, more and more companies and organizations are getting involved in green initiatives, replanting trees, recycling garbage, and even stocking fish. We all reap the rewards when we do good things for the environment. With more and more wildlife being displaced by urban sprawl, it's never been more important that we take notice and become proactive to the constant changes taking place. Waterfowl are utilizing storm and floodplains in urban areas, as are white-tailed deer, turkey, and even coyotes. This tells me one thing: wildlife and human conflicts will most likely be on the rise. Thousands of deer are hit by cars in urban areas, and complaints of ornery turkeys have come up in major cities, as have attacks on pets by increasingly bold coyotes. All of this is providing some fantastic hunting opportunities right on our doorsteps. For those of you into archery, these are exciting times.
Hey, there's the fish.
Nicely done, Mike.
This country was built on fishing, hunting, and trapping. I don't forget where I came from, and I still remember the days where I had to book what little vacation time I had to go on deer hunts and fishing trips with my friends. And it reminds me of how important this is to me. Fortunately, I've been able to make a living in the outdoors and have gained invaluable knowledge. And I'm going to share my successes and failures with you. Oh, watch out! Whether you're urban or rural, fish or hunt, you should support sound wildlife management. I am proud to say that I am an angler and hunter.
The Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters presents Angler and Hunter Television. Brought to you by Canadian Tire, a proud partner of Angler and Hunter Television. Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. Winchester Ammunition, an American legend. Browning Firearms, the best there is. Shimano, technology you can feel. Yamaha ATVs, what kind of Yamaha are you? And Lund Boats, the ultimate fishing experience.
Yours is bigger. Oh, yeah. Yeah! Okay, here comes fish.
Recently, we invited other outboard owners to look deeper into Mercury Verado.
The mid-range throttle response is amazing.
Got a lot of power for low RPM.
Whoa.
I can't get over the power that it has, how quickly it accelerates.
The torque is unbelievable.
Verado is up to 13% quicker than other four-strokes. Visit mercurymarine.com to see more ways Verado beats the competition. Mercury Marine. Look deeper.
Feel that bad boy? Woo.
It's not about the shot itself. It's about all that came before it. A company that's given back to conservation so that the tradition of hunting will continue. A leader in innovation since its founding. It's the legendary excellence you've come to expect. You've got that history in your hands. Now it's about settling the crosshairs, focusing on that moment in time, and one legendary trigger pull that changes you. Winchester, the American legend.
Voltaire presents Fight Night.
I think I speak for fight fans everywhere when I say we saw one of the most insane fights in all of mixed martial arts history here tonight.
You said it, Greg. The defending lightweight world champion Frankie the Butcher Nelson taking on the Voltaire fishing rod by Shimano in one of the craziest fights I've ever seen.
Is that jiu-jitsu? Muay Thai? I don't know what to call it.
I call it crazy.
We'll definitely be seeing more of the Voltaires in future fights to come.
Voltaire, the next level of tough.
A priceless experience on the water. That's the Lund Tai. Fishermen and families everywhere are raving about the all-new Lund Tai. Celebrating 60 years. Since 1948, Lund, the ultimate fishing experience.
Closed captioning of Angler and Hunter Television is provided by Ontario Out of Doors Magazine.
Hey, on this week's episode of Angler and Hunter, we've got a real unique outdoor experience. I'm just east of Toronto in Whitby, Ontario, and I'm meeting Scott and Dave Patterson of Royal Ashburn Golf Club to do some fishing and hunting. One organization has taken the lead in wildlife education and habitat restoration with a program called Project Webfoot. Ducks Unlimited has partnered up with the Royal Ashburn Golf Club in Whitby, Ontario to create a wetland teeming with wildlife just north of a few 100,000 people in the Greater Toronto area.
My dad bought the property in 1959 and opened officially in 1962. The golf course has been around for 50 years this year, 2012. Throughout development of the golf course, we've been very cautious of the environment and the surrounding area as well. And part of that is a 10-acre wetland that we built 3 years ago now in partnership with Ducks Unlimited and the Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters and Central Lake Ontario Conservation Authority. And certainly an enhancement that protects a lot of the species and so on around us. Deer, of course, they're down in there. We've got beavers, we've got fish in the pond, ducks and geese, and we have wood duck boxes. So, you know, it's very much been, conservation's always been a family love, I suppose, for the Pattersons, and this is just a feature that certainly has enhanced our facility. So much as hunting has received a bit of a bad stigma as far as, you know, what hunters actually stand for, golf courses have been under the gun a little bit as well with environmental concerns and pesticide bans and some of the problems we face in day-to-day operations, which is very far from the truth. We're stewards of the land, and this conservation project with the wetland is a great example, I think, of how golf courses contribute, and Royal Ashburn has contributed to the community. We've now sent, in 3 years, we've raised about $150,000. All of that money goes back into conservation projects, and you know, most importantly, it goes to support schools on field trips to a working wetland, to give kids the opportunity to get outdoors and experience nature, which is something they don't always receive that opportunity to do, particularly some of the, you know, the city schools and so on, and we're talking about urban settings. You know, they're not able to experience the outdoors the way we've been allowed.
Scott and Dave Patterson are avid anglers and hunters who have seen the landscape change over the years and are well aware of the opportunities for crossbow hunting.
You know, I try to find the time whenever I can. Obviously, October 1st is always a day that I look forward to. Hunting is something that I do enjoy doing. And I know a lot of people, when you mention that you're a hunter, they sometimes take offense to it and don't think that you should be doing it. But, you know, I think it's important for everybody to realize that hunting isn't about the killing. Hunting is about being outdoors, you know, with your friends, with nature. It's really the only time of year, for me anyways, where I'm going to spend 2 or 3 hours on a regular basis sitting in a tree, trying to be as still as possible. And you know, it's everything that goes along with that that makes it so good.
Nice shot. Hey, Miller, you're up.
Just one more cast, all right?
One more cast. He always says that. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
After this one, there's a tree stand right over here across this wetland I'm seeing, and I think I'm probably not going to end my golf game today. I'm not going to be at the 19th hole, so to speak. I'm going to grab the Excalibur and head over there and sit in a tree stand for the afternoon. Come through the slop. Oh, don't lose it. This is why I bring a net to the golf course right here. Gotcha. Thank you. Now you guys can tee off. We'll film you guys. Put it in the hole. That's a beauty trout. Oh, easy, easy, easy. I'm not gonna hurt you. Just want to take a quick picture and let you go. Hang on. What was it? Look at this thing. It's a tank of a trout. Golf courses are about as green a place as you can get in urban areas. Ponds, creeks, meadows, and stands of hardwoods all make for some great wildlife habitat.
That's a beauty fish. That's why I golf at Royal Ashburn right there.
The boys have access to the farms and bush around the golf club and invited me out to see what kind of action we could capture on camera.
Gear up with Canadian Tire.
Hey, there's nothing more unpredictable than Canadian weather. And if you're a hunter, you'll know that what you see in the morning might not be what you see in the afternoon. Imagine you're in your stand, blending in and waiting for that big buck, when out of nowhere, 2 inches of snow hits the ground. Sticking out like a sore thumb, aren't you? Not anymore. Yukon gear comes in reversible camo, meaning no matter what the conditions throw at you, you'll be concealed in seconds. To see all the awesome camo options, check out your local Canadian Tire store or visit canadiantire.ca.
The hunt continues after the break.
I guess my first Yamaha was 1986, and after that it was Yamahas to no end. When I look at timber property that I'm going to buy or be harvesting, you need a good, reliable machine to get you through the swamps. Pretty rough going some places. Different people have asked me about, why I buy Yamaha. Keep buying them because of the reliability, and the product that they make is just what we want. I'm Barry Elmhurst, owner and operator of BW Forest Products, and this is my Yamaha.
Folks, I'm Dan Wallace, and I make my living in the backwoods. And people ask me, why do you use a recurve limb crossbow? Better question is, why would you use compound? Look, I'm tough on equipment, and I need a crossbow as tough and reliable as my four-wheel drive. If I happen to drop it out of a tree, or accidentally dry fire, or run over it with your pickup truck, try that with a compound crossbow, and you'll be the proud owner of 100 little parts. So do yourself a favor and pick up an Excalibur and find out why they're the four-wheel drive of crossbows.
They're up there, I've been to the ship. I've seen things. I've smelled things.
Look, I'm trying to forage here.
They fool you with the smell. They got me, but I escaped.
Yeah, from the loony bin.
The scent was like a blood trail, but it's deception.
Get away from me.
Beware, my friend. Trust no one. Trust no one.
Some wildlife management units have open seasons for all game, but do not allow the use of shotguns or rifles, making a crossbow the firearm of choice for hunting big and small game. After picking a location and setting up, I was confident that one of us would have some deer moving through before long. The temperatures have been unseasonably warm and the deer were moving very inconsistently. There was plenty of critters running around though. We had regular visits from a massive flock of wild turkey, which I need to remember for next spring. Like most hunters, we only had a few hours at dawn and dusk to spend in the stands, so timing was going to be the trick to getting a shot.
3 o'clock in the afternoon, I got about 2 hours till it gets dark. I got my fingers crossed on this one. I need a big old deer. Now, Dave and Scott will be hunting tomorrow morning, so chances are pretty good we're gonna get one.
My family and I had a vacation planned for the first week of November. Now, I slept in and decided not to hunt on the day we were supposed to fly out. And of course, just after sunrise, my phone rang. It was Dave Patterson.
It was a great morning, frost on the ground, and I got out there. I'd been sitting for roughly an hour, and sure enough, I see from across the field where I had another tree stand actually hanging, I see this huge rack poking its head out from the other side of the field. A couple minutes later, out pops from the other side of the field a doe and last year's fawn. And he's watching these two deer come down as they come down the field. So, you know, the whole game is on. The does come right underneath my stand, literally right underneath my stand. She kind of looks up at me once, really wasn't interested at all. The does then kind of moved off down away from me to the left down the edge of the field. And here comes the buck. He's coming kitty corner and he's going after these does into the field. And again, I'm thinking to myself, you know, okay, missed my opportunity. And for no reason, you know, now's when the chase really starts. The does, they both scoot and they come running right at me, right underneath the tree stand again, over to the other edge of the field. And, you know, the buck, he starts chasing behind them right in tow and stops right in front of me at, I'm gonna say he was probably 20 yards, which perfect broadside shot. And, you know, game over, great hunt, great experience. I wish I could have caught it on tape for you.
Dave had taken an awesome buck down that morning, and I was hard-pressed to make a run to the golf club and get some shots of it before I had to pack up the family and head for the airport. What a magnificent animal. Dave had taken the deer most of us dream of, and on a day that none of us, not even Dave, expected to get out. This was a prime buck, and I noticed one thing. His left ear had some considerable damage, which means he was sparring with an equally impressive buck. Perhaps I might still get my shot.
Gulp Alive presents The Fishing Edge.
Got him! Oh, yeah!
In order to get the edge over fish, you need to make sure you're using tackle designed for the specific species you're after. Take line, for instance. Every inch of every spool of Berkley line is made under strict quality control measures to assure the finest quality and best performance. Berkley scientists are constantly developing new line formulas and pushing the technological envelope to bring us the very best fishing lines made. Professional anglers are testing those new products in the field under the toughest conditions. Unifilament is new to the scene. It's not a mono, not a braid, but the next generation of fishing line. This ultimate spinning reel fishing line consists of hundreds of Dyneema nanofilaments that are molecularly linked and shaped into a unified filament fishing line, making it Berkley's thinnest and longest casting line available. At Berkley, their passion is to help people like you and I catch more fish. To see more ways to get the edge, check out berkley-fishing.com.
More great hunting action when we return.
More than a century ago, Browning introduced the auto-loading shotgun to the world. Today's Browning Silver continues that tradition with greater reliability, softer felt recoil, better handling, and more features than ever before. The Browning Silver, the auto-loading shotgun that does it all. Browning, the best there is.
Think GPS is just for getting you to the lake? Think again. The new iPilot wireless GPS trolling system can hold your boat in place like an electronic anchor. Record and retrace productive fishing paths, automatically keep you on any bearing you choose, and take total command of speed and steering. iPilot controls your boat with wireless GPS precision so you can focus on fishing. And it's only from Minn Kota.
Fish are gonna need a new place to hide. Exclusive side imaging from Humminbird. Scan more water faster with 480 feet of side-to-side coverage and see structure detail with amazing picture-like images. Humminbird, simply, clearly, better.
A new age of modern scope technology has arrived. Burris Optics presents the Eliminator. The Eliminator incorporates laser range-finding technology with automatic bullet drop compensation calibrated to your rifle and bullet combination. Burris Optics. leading the way in modern scope technology. Burris's new Eliminator rifle scope, changing rifle scopes forever. Just range 'em and eliminate 'em.
If your passion is hunting and fishing, get ready to catch this incredible membership offer from fine sponsors of the Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters. Join right now and receive all these great products, including a Shimano reel, the Shimano Sienna 2500, a buck knife, the Silver Creek Fishing Fillet Knife made by Buck Knives, a Coast LED flashlight, a Strike King spinnerbait, a Fox 40 whistle, Berkeley Gulp, Berkeley Power Bait, and Berkeley Trilene. 3 packages of Fish Crisp Original and a special Fish Au Flage Edition Plano Soft Cider Tackle Bag with 3 Plano stowaway tackle containers. Plus, when you join, you get Ontario Out of Doors magazine, 10 action-packed issues a year, including the fishing and hunting annuals. This special OFAH membership package is a $260 value for only $72.95. Stand up for conservation and show how much you really care about your passion for fishing and hunting with a membership in the Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters. Call and join today.
Excalibur Crossbow presents The Hunting Edge.
Bow hunting has to be one of the most exciting ways to get up close and personal with wild game, and Excalibur Crossbows wants you to have the edge on your next outing. Here's a scenario that I've heard happens to many hunters. You're all settled into your stand and ready for that big buck to wander by. Time ticks away and you nod off, lose balance, or even just move the wrong way and lose grip of your bow. The next thing you know, it's bouncing off limbs and lying on the ground below you. This will absolutely ruin your hunt. To get the edge over the dropsies, I suggest using a bungee cord and tying it off to your stand, and then to your sling mount. Now if you drop your bow, it won't fall far, and the bungee cord will cushion the blow, all while keeping it pointed in a safe direction. Part of the excitement of hunting is getting up close to wildlife that you may not encounter under normal circumstances. Here I am, heading into my stand, just north of a major city, and I run into this fellow. How cool was that? Think about it. Some people will never even see an owl in the wild in their lifetime. After a month or so of little action and switching from stand to stand, I was growing pretty weary and decided that even if a smaller buck or a doe presents itself, I was going to fill my tag. Time wasn't on my side, and the freezer is empty.
That wasn't a bad little deer. I would have taken him. On a freezing cold day like this, if he could have come a little closer, I would have taken him for sure. That was a good little buck. Maybe I'm gonna say a 4-pointer, maybe a 6. I couldn't tell from here. He was probably 65 yards away. Here we go, here we go. There's 5 does, possibly does, coming right at me. I don't see any horns. You can see better with the camera.
Finally, some activity. I had these does working towards me, however, quite reluctantly, as the wind was blowing across me and right into their face.
Oh my God. Huge buck.
This monster was moving steady, and I knew if I waited, he would follow the does. The only problem was, the does were now underneath me and making out my every move. My only hope was to try a grunt, and that he would come into range thinking another buck was going to tend to this harem. Bad decision. Those does scattered, and he was left standing there with no reason to come my way. And to make it worse, out of nowhere, a small pack of coyotes broke the tree line, sending the buck of my dreams bounding out of my life forever.
50 to 60 yards. As soon as I brought my crossbow up, though, they were on me. It's hard to trick a coyote. They're pretty wily. They might try and come around me, though, to see what I am. I got turkeys in that field. I can hear them clucking. And I've seen one of the biggest deer I've seen in a long time this morning, so get yourself a crossbow. Find a farmer or a golf course owner or somebody that has property in a urban setting, and put a tree stand up and get out here, because it's awesome.
I spent a few more days out trying to make up for that day and found a small pine stand with some fresh action, but winter came and so did the freezing temps, which sent me packing and feeling very humbled by the whole experience.
Whew, what a cold morning. I tell you, it's been 3 months. I came out here in early October and started this deer hunt and had some awesome encounters. I mean, I had the small buck come out, I had that big buck come out, some coyotes, millions of turkeys just everywhere. And even that owl was a great thing to see. You know, from the scene around me, you'd think I'm in the winter wonderland in Canada's Great White North. But I'm minutes from downtown Whitby in the Greater Toronto area. And as you've seen, there's wildlife abound. Unfortunately, there's no gun seasons here, so anyone out there looking for an opportunity to get out hunting, go to your local farmers, golf courses, or anybody with property. Get yourself a crossbow, check the wildlife management unit in your area for the seasons, and make sure there's a bows only season, and get out there, scout it out, and put up a couple stands. I'm gonna do some scouting this winter to better learn the lay of this land, and I'll be back next year probably to try and get that big deer. And you'll probably see me here in the spring trying to bag a nice gobbler with my Excalibur.
Whether it's turkey, deer, rabbit, coyotes, or even grouse, there are some fantastic hunting areas just on the outskirts of wherever you live. By picking up a crossbow, you can take advantage of this untapped population and even do your part in managing the population of wildlife that live, well, right in your own backyards.
Angler and Hunter Television was brought to you by Canadian Tire, proud sponsor of Angler and Hunter Television. Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. Winchester Ammunition, an American legend. Browning Firearms, the best there is. Shimano, technology you can feel. Yamaha ATVs, what kind of Yamaha are you? And Lund Boats, the ultimate fishing experience. Looking for more information on today's show or past episodes? Visit www.ahtv.com. Whether it's watching a fishing or hunting edge online, or looking for other great sites of the Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Visit www.ahtv.com. We'll see you next week. And remember to conserve and protect our great outdoors.